Hello everybody, I am DeathSavior 84 and today I want to welcome you back to Video Diary number 2. Alright, so we covered a lot of the stuff about when I was a kid and stuff, about my dad passing away, how I kind of reacted, how I kind of went a tad insane and didn't care and was self-harming myself. I'm going to cover a little bit more stuff about when I was in high school and things like that. Um, so I don't really talk about it, but I'm still a fan of it. But I used to be a really big fan of wrestling, like pro wrestling, which I talked about it in the last video I mentioned about wrestling and stuff. I haven't really been watching anything on TV or anything for wrestling because WWE's kind of worn on me, and I prefer like indie stuff more than anything now. But at one point in time when I was in high school, I actually took up backyard wrestling. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, your teeth are bad and things like that, which they are. I'll admit that my teeth are bad. I brush them, but it doesn't help. But a lot of them are, like, starting to break, and as you can see how bad they are, it's from doing like, I actually had a dentist tell me a lot of my teeth are rotting from the inside out because of blunt trauma to the mouth, which, when I was in backyard wrestling, I took hits with pole. This sounds so wrong, but with like broomsticks, pieces of wood, clotheslines. I took a lot of hits to the face, and needless to say, that's what's causing a lot of my teeth to rot out. Apparently, because all the damage I've done to my face, it started rotting. Like, I'd have to go see a specialist, which isn't going to be cheap, to get my teeth. Actually would have been able to get anything done with my teeth, and they're just to the point now where it's probably gonna be pointless. I'm gonna end up, so I'm just letting it go. I mean, I still brush them, I still try to take as much care of them as I can, but yeah, needless to say, I made some choices in my life that I do not regret. It was one of the funnest times I've ever had in my life when I was younger, in high school and everything. Me and a bunch of people who were friends and just dicking around, wrestling, and I regret none of it. I mean, I had a great time. But now I'm paying for it as I'm getting older because now my teeth are rotting from the inside out. Which I didn't even know could actually happen until a doctor was like, hey, we did some x-rays of your mouth, and have you ever had this happen? Yeah. Never really said what it was, but I just said, yeah, I had some. But, I mean, it was one of the funnest times I think I've ever had. I mean, me, a couple of my friends, my brother, actually accidentally broke somebody's growth plate in their foot one time. Didn't even have to touch him in a match. They went to step backwards because they come running at me and clothesline me in the face. My head kicked back. I looked at them. They went, "Oh shit!" Try to back off from me, and when I go, oh, let me phrase it. I did touch them. I grabbed the hold of their shirt as they started to go backwards because I was gonna grapple them, and needless to say, they went down, and I ended up having to carry somebody who was probably almost 130 pounds more than what I weighed at that point in time, from a giant field to my house, which was probably close to about a half a mile away because they could not walk. It wasn't a fun time. It's probably, but I mean, like I said, I don't regret any of it. I had a fun time. I mean, it wasn't like we were going for real stuff, but hey, it is what it is. It's all about having fun. From that, I mean, I've gotten older. I've gotten a little more wiser. I'd still do it in a heartbeat. I still want to. I wish I could learn how to had the money to go through wrestling school. I'd love to actually do like indie wrestling and stuff like that. I know you don't make the money, but it's not, to me, it's not about the money. It's about the fan base having fun, things of that nature. Everything with me is always about having fun. It's like, money, fuck that. We can have fun. At one point, as I got older, my mom had started dating again, of course. And I met one of her boyfriends away I wish I never would have, which is now my stepdad. I still don't see eye to eye with him, but the first time I ever met this guy, well, actually seen this guy, I should say, I had come downstairs to get ready for school in the morning, and there was my mom and him passed out from drinking and stuff on the couch. We ain't gonna say how. And my brother and sister were very young, and they were getting ready to get up. I had to do something, so I had to cover them up. I had to block so they couldn't see it. But I wasn't too happy about it. And then from there on, he became a bigger dick and a bigger dick. And basically, right after I graduated school, I got kicked out of my mom's house by him because he was afraid of me. And he had a good reason to be afraid of me, because I probably would be in jail if I would ever get a hold of him for stuff I heard he's done. But anyways, he kicked me out of the house. I got lucky enough that my now wife, then girlfriend's parents, took me in. And then he treated my little sister like crap. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to kill him. Well, not kill him, but hurt him. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it that people don't understand. I mean, you guys think I'm all nice and calm and collected, but I have rage issues. A real rage issue if I get around certain people. Like, I tolerate him when I have to. But if I'm not like a family function like Thanksgiving, Christmas, or anything, and he speaks to me or even says anything to me, I tell him to shut up, because I can't take even talking to him after the stuff that he's done to my family. And my mom, she's one of those Christian people who believe that God does not see how does she put this? God does not see divorces in his eyes or something, she said, which I don't know. But that was her excuse for it. She wants to put herself through it. I can't do anything about that. I got my brother out of the house. I got my sister out of the house. That's all that matters to me now. I hate talking about this because it makes me so irritated. But, sorry, I thought I heard something, like, behind me. Like a bag or something. But it needs to be talked about. I mean, I want you guys to see where I'm coming from with everything. I grew up, after graduating, I tried getting jobs. I mean, my stepdad actually cost me one of my jobs, because we had been working at the same place together, but I was in a different department than him. I was in a shipping department, whereas he was in a different section. Well, they sent them to help shipping, and he ran his mouth to my boss, and somehow I got the blame for it. And it cost me my job. A job that I worked hard at every day. So, of course, I'm not going to be that thrilled about losing my job over that. But it's just what it is. Man, why does my one eye always... Sorry, guys. I know this is random, but my one eye always seems so, like I look like I've been hitting it, like, 5,000 times. It doesn't want to open all the way. But, which, that might be an issue from backyard wrestling as well. I don't know. A lot of people say I always look like when I take pictures and stuff. You're like, are you high? I'm like, No, not really. But after school, after I graduated from high school, I got random jobs here and there until my now wife graduated. She was a year behind me. After that, we both went into college together for I went for computer, basically was going for computer repair, but I went into computer network administration, and she did too. And after being at a school for 2 years, when I was only supposed to be there for a year and like 8 months or something like that, I had a teacher who liked to talk throughout class, and like halfway through class she'd start teaching and you wouldn't learn anything. And she kept giving me bad grades because I would go on ahead of the class, because I needed to stick with the class. I needed to stop pushing myself ahead of everybody. She wasn't too happy about it. So she kept giving me bad grade, dropping my grades and stuff because I wasn't sticking with everybody. And it ended up failing the class and having to retake a different class, that class. And then she was teaching another class of mine, which she did the same thing. And after not passing her classes because of issues with her, I went to the dean of education at the school I was at and told them what was going on. And when I told them what was going on, they looked me dead in the eyes and said, "We're sorry, but I don't believe you. Our teachers don't do that." So it was at that point I told her that I have been here for 2 years, wasted this amount of money on this school, and I've gotten nowhere because of your teachers, and you don't want to believe me. So I said, "You have a good day. I'm done. Goodbye." So I left that school, ended up going to the Art of Institute of Pittsburgh for a while, which we stayed, both of us ended up going because she was having, we were in, like I said, we were in the same class. She was having the same issues I was with that teacher. So we moved to Pittsburgh, PA, for that school, and we stayed in the dorms. She was in her dorm, I was in mine, and I went for visual effects and motion graphics. And while I was at school, I had fun. It was a great time. We did all my work and stuff, had a fun time doing everything, but also at the same time, you're living in a city, pretty decent sized city. You had to find a job. Well, we found a job, and our job was about an hour away from our school. So instead of us having to pay for parking at the school all the time, or pay for parking to go just to have our car stay there, we ended up finding a house, moving out into our own little house. And basically our job was to clean banks. Like at night after they closed, we went in and did all the garbage, swept the floors, wiped the windows down. And the bank that we worked for had been bought out. So we lost our job. Can't live in a city when you don't have any money. So we ended up moving back with our parents because we couldn't afford to live in Pittsburgh. Which we switched from then. I ended up having to switch from the visual effects and motion graphics to graphic design because I had to go into the online classes, and that's the only thing they had for online. I couldn't do the visual effects and motion graphics from online. So we started doing our work for the school online. Her parents live out in the middle of nowhere, where the company they had internet through didn't have like a high-speed internet out there yet. It was still dial-up. And I'm not talking like this is like in like 2008, 2009, they still didn't have any high-speed out there. They still don't, from my knowledge, about where they live. They ended up getting satellite because it was that bad. But, the school, after about a year of doing online classes for graphic design, the school ended up changing their website, and we had trouble logging on to the website through dial-up because everything went to high speed. You needed high speed internet. So I ended up having to drop out of school again because of that. So I made it really nowhere in how many years and how many, 2 different, like, almost 4 years of college, and still had nothing to show for it really, except for I do have a certificate that says I can and am able to hook up a network in a building, because we went through and got a certificate for that while I was in college, my network administration class. So I mean, I got a certificate saying I can do that. I also ended up, after a while, like, trying to find jobs, having issues. I ended up getting into school through Penn State University. It was a mining class for coal mining, which was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life. But I ended up getting into this class, which most people, whenever they go into mining, you get like an 80-hour class, and you pay like $500-600 for it. Well, my class I ended up getting into was a special. It was the first time they ever done it. It was 6 weeks, and I didn't really have to pay for anything. All I had to do was buy like mining boots and gloves and stuff, because they supplied the belt, your mining stuff, like your belt and your hard hat. And it was the first class they ever did of that, and it was amazing. Like, they went over so much stuff in that class, more stuff than you, like, I've had talks with people when I was in the mine that went through the 80-hour class. They're like, we didn't have half the stuff that you guys learned in that class. And I was like, yeah, they really broke it down. Like, they went pretty in depth into everything. And so that was back in 2010. I did my class for coal mining, and I ended up being in the coal mines for 4.5 years before everything started going downhill, and then I lost my job due to layoffs and everything else. It was around, well, actually, it's before I got, probably, while I was in the coal mines, yeah, because while I was in the coal mines, probably about my second year in, about 2000, I don't know, 12 or 13 is when I found out about Twitch, and that's when I started watching people stream games and things like that, and started getting myself interested into it. And then I built my own computer. I mean, it had been from 2009, but I had a custom built computer that was running really, I mean, I could run most games at pretty decent, but it was a dual core system. It was only had 4 gigs of RAM and had a 1 gig GDDR5 video card in it. And I was like, you know what? I said, there has to be a way. I know they require a quad core is your minimum for streaming, is what they say. I was like, but I was like, I'm not going to try. I don't believe it. There's got to be a way to go beyond that. And so I started researching and doing different things, and I finally got it to the point where I was able to stream on a dual core system, though the quality was terrible because of I had to have a low bit rate. I had to have this and this. I had to turn all the graphics of the games to the lowest setting basically possible to get them to stream. But I could stream Creativerse. I could stream Smite. And I did. And people surprisingly came in and were like, yeah, well, this isn't that bad because my internet, I can still watch this. Okay, well, that's awesome. And then I started getting help from a streamer named Havoc. He started like talking to me and giving me tips, and he helped me out more than I could actually say when it came to streaming. Especially, he helped out a lot with me being, even with my low quality of streams. He would host me. He actually ended up one time getting Smite. I don't know how he did it, but Smite ended up hosting me. And, well, high res. Well, at the time I think it was Smite TV or something, where they used to, it was like back when they used to host people on their streams. And they ended up hosting me while I was streaming, and I couldn't believe that that I actually got hosted by them with as crappy a quality as I had. It blew my mind to actually see that, to have that happen to me. But I continued to press on. I continued to stream, even though mine wasn't the best out there. I wasn't anywhere near as good as other people's. I had a crappy webcam. I had a crappy quality, like, everything. Like, of the webcam I used was terrible. I don't even think it was an HD webcam at the time. But I pressed on, and I kept pushing and pushing, and then it started getting to the point where I ended up dying on streaming because, well, being in the coal mines, I ended up started working 16-hour days. Not having to drive 2 hours to work, 2 hours from work, so there's 4 hours back and forth to get to work. I mean, I was exhausted. I couldn't, and it just took it out of me. So, in a way, it sucks that I lost my job in the mines because of how everything went downhill. But at the same time, to me, it's a blessing because it allowed me to get back into streaming, get back into what I was doing, and now I'm back to where I've made all these fans. I made friends, and I mean, it blows me out of the water, everything that I've accomplished with my stream so far. But I'm always grinding, always pushing, and I'm never gonna stop. I'm gonna end this one here. There's still a little bit more to cover. I mean, I know I skipped over a lot of stuff. There's stuff that I may go back and talk about, like, in the past and stuff that I didn't really touch base on. But I figured I wanted to cover at least about my teeth, so that way you guys kind of have an understanding why my teeth are so bad. Because I know a lot of people look at it and go, ew, he doesn't brush his teeth, he's disgusting, he's got bad hygiene, yada 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 yada. No. I used to backyard wrestle and got the shit kicked out of me. Man, kicked the shit out of people. Just took a few hits to the face. That's all. But, anyhow, hopefully you guys are enjoying these. Hopefully I'm informing you guys of stuff about me. You guys are getting to know me a little bit better than what you normally would. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. I want to thank you all. Bye!